Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a big idea about what really drives us, what really pushes us to achieve incredible things. And the answer might not be what you think. So let's just jump right in with a huge question. I want you to really think about this for a second. What is that one thing, that one force that can push you forward when literally nothing else can? What's the thing that makes you say, okay, that's it, enough is enough? We usually think of the conventional answers, right? Money, getting famous, maybe even a bad breakup. But the idea we're digging into today, it flips that whole script. It says the real fire, the deepest motivation comes from something way more personal. Your circumstances, your family situation. And think about it. The desire for money is one thing, but the actual painful lack of it, that's a whole different level of fuel. To really understand where this fire comes from, we've got to start with the fuel itself. And that fuel is the struggle, the real, sometimes heavy, everyday weight of your current reality. It often starts with this very specific, sharp kind of pain. It's that feeling you get when you see something you really want, a new phone, a vacation, whatever, and you have to just shut that desire down, kill it, simply because you can't afford it. I think a lot of us know exactly what that feels like.
And it's not just one single thing, is it? It's more like this constant grinding pressure. It's scrolling through social media and seeing all the things you can't have. It's the simple stress of not having a car or not having enough money for gas. It's that awful feeling of lying awake at night, doing the math in your head, and realizing that your expenses are just higher than your income.
And this stuff, it bleeds into our social lives too. Have you ever walked into a room and just instantly felt less than? Like you're the worst dressed person there? It's that burning feeling of being overlooked, of not belonging, that can seriously light a fire under you. Now, here's a crucial point. A lot of the time, this motivation isn't even just about us. It's born from watching the people we love sacrifice. Seeing your parents work themselves to the bone, day in and day out, just to make sure there's enough to survive. Man, that image can become an absolutely unstoppable force inside you.
Okay, but this is where the whole idea gets really powerful. We're asked to completely reframe this narrative of pain. What if all of that struggle, all of that disadvantage, isn't a weakness, but actually your greatest weapon?
This is the absolute core of the argument right here. The idea that your difficult circumstances aren't some curse holding you back. What if they're actually a gift, a source of drive that people who've had it easy will just never, ever have? I mean, think about this statement. You are lucky if you have nothing to lose. When you're starting from the very bottom, there's this incredible kind of freedom. You've got everything to gain, and frankly, the only way to go is up.
And there's actually a name for this, the Underdog's Advantage. It's a perspective that transforms your situation from being a liability into being your single greatest asset. You're free to take huge risks. And on top of that, let's be real, society absolutely loves a comeback story, someone who builds an empire from nothing. Okay, so that's the mindset shift, and that's huge. But how do you actually turn all this frustration and pain and maybe even anger into something productive? Well, let's look at the actual strategy. The process laid out is, well, it's intense. You don't ignore the frustration or suppress it, you acknowledge it. You literally write down the names of people who disrespected you or overlooked you. And then you take all of that raw emotional energy and you pour it, you channel it directly into your work. Your ultimate response isn't an argument, it's your success. And why does this work so well? The logic is brutally simple. People's perception of you changes completely when you achieve something. Before you're successful, you might get ignored, your value questioned. But after? With success, that very same name that was ignored now opens doors. People start seeking you out. And this is the end game, right here, to create this powerful, self-sustaining cycle. First, you do the work that builds your name, your reputation. And then, eventually, that name you've built starts doing the work for you. So you put in all this work, you channel all this energy. Where does it all lead? It leads to a completely new reality. One that's forged by your own quiet, relentless hustle. Now, something really important to remember is that struggle is universal. Hardship comes for everyone. Nobody gets a free pass on this. But, and this is the absolute key, the outcome is not universal. The pressure might be a constant, but how we respond to it, that's a choice.
When faced with that same difficulty, some people will shatter and others will find a way to shine.
So the final piece of advice, the final instruction is this: work in silence. Put your head down, block out the noise, forget the critics, forget needing anyone else's approval. Just do the work.
Because here's the thing, if you are persistent, if you are relentless, eventually the results of all that quiet, focused effort will speak for themselves. In fact, they'll get so loud that they become impossible for anyone to ignore. Your success will make all the noise you'll ever need.
And let's just end on this powerful thought. Often, the ones no one expects anything from are the ones who do wonders. So the real question it leaves us with is, what wonder are you capable of precisely because nobody sees it coming?